Continuing with my ideal DC universe, Batman Return of Bruce Wayne. Remembering to Justice League International, Bruce was seemingly vaporized, minus his cowl, but in reality he was thrown through time and landed in caveman times. No surprise, he's very confused to see the caveman, especially one that resembles Robin, who returns his utility belt, which one of the cavemen tried stealing off of Bruce. Bruce is definitely freaked out, but he tries holding it together, realizing that maybe that Omega Beam generator was actually a time travel device by accident. He also took down a giant, prehistoric, totally realistic giant bat, which Bruce takes as his new cow, so he can still be Batman. But he eventually ditches his full outfit because it is scorching in caveman times. He eventually notices one group fighting with a different group of cavemen, breaking it up just for the other group to run away. He tries getting them to explain who they were, but with a lot of confused grunting and cave paintings, Bruce comes together that there's a different group of cavemen run by a guy named Kroll, who's been attacking his group. So Bruce, being Bruce, decides he's going to have to do something about this, teaching the cave people how to hunt better, farm, and fight better, more strategically, especially using some of his equipment from his utility belt. The cave people fight, but bad omen as a meteor shower happens. Most of the people are scared, but Bruce pushes on with Robin, heading over a waterfall and finding Kroll, having an epic final brawl, but eventually Kroll becomes the first prisoner, and the people are saved and rejoice. But eventually Bruce suddenly gets pulled into time. Robin's freaked out by this, but he starts writing on his wall and saying something like Barbatos. One of the meteors crashed near the caves. The impact ended up breaking the cage that Kroll was in. Everyone kind of scatters because of the crash. But the impact crater leaves out heat and it is cold out, so Kroll decides to sleep by the meteor. Not knowing that the meteor is actually kryptonite, the next day Kroll starts speaking properly and he's more intelligent, revealing that he is Vandal Savage. Back with Bruce, he wakes up in a new time, in colonial Gotham on Staten Island. The Puritans are really freaked out at Bruce because look at him, he's practically naked. That he even know no shame. So Bruce, quickly thinking on his feet, says his name is Mordecai. He was captured by natives and he was stripped, and this was the only thing he could get his hands on as he escaped. Everyone's like, oh, that makes sense. So after getting new clothes, Mordecai settles in colonial Gotham. As he starts writing a journal about his time shenanigans, revealing that Mordecai is the name of an actual Wayne ancestor he totally knew about, who was also kidnapped by natives, so Bruce was able to just sneak into that life. Gotham was founded a couple generations ago by Alan Wayne and Thomas Cobblepot. He was expecting to meet them, but they already passed. But he has met an ancestor of Nathaniel and his wife Annie. It was incredibly strange but fascinating to meet my direct ancestors, as well as working with them to make some coin under the guidance of For what seems like half a year, him, Nathaniel, and the Witchfinder General worked together, with Bruce being the logical one, setting a lot of innocent people free, including out one vagabond. In 1618, the colonies in New Jersey and New York had a contest to see who could sail around in a day to see who would own Staten Island, that Mordecai and Nathaniel decided to join in on. Anne was also brought along, which many people thought was bad luck, but Mordecai supported the idea. It was smooth sailing at first until they got attacked by a giant squid. Nathaniel immediately panicked and hid below deck. Mordecai decided to be Mordecai and save the people, slicing up the tentacles and using the cannons on the ship to drive it away. It worked and the squid swam away, creating a big wave that ended up pushing the ship, so they were able to complete the contest in under 23 hours. Mordecai was heralded as a hero of New York and was very appreciative of him and gave him a kiss on the cheek. This enraged Nathaniel, seeing Mordecai succeed where he didn't, and Anne showing public affections of love, claiming that she's a temptress. So the Witchfinder General goes into investigation about this. It's not looking too good for Anne because she's a woman. She did show public affection of love, especially towards someone who is not her husband. And she was a woman on a boat, which is bad omen. And they were attacked by a Leviathan. so she's going to be burned at the stake tomorrow, no matter how much Mordecai protests. So she curses Nathaniel. That's not really helping her case, so Bruce has to come up with a plan. Finding her locked up later at night, Mordecai explains that they're going to switch her body with a dead body, framing a suicide as well as with Mordecai, and the two escape to Pennsylvania. The next day, the bodies are found. Nathaniel ends up getting the Wayne Manor that was intended for Mordecai as a prize for the boat race. Bruce is forced through time again as Annie has Nathaniel's child in Pennsylvania. That child eventually inherits Wayne Manor due to Nathaniel's failed second marriage, and eventually has Mad Anthony Wayne, who fought during the Revolutionary War. But meanwhile, with Bruce, he's in time until he finally exits in a new timeline on a pirate ship. The crew is confused but immediately grabs him. Bruce tries fighting him off, but he gets overpowered. They bring him to the captain, who is Blackbeard. The crew say he just randomly appeared. They want to gut him, or throw him overboard, or gut him and throw him overboard. But Blackbeard knows who this is. Randomly appearing, that outfit, he's clearly the Black Pirate. That Phantom Pirate randomly appears. He helps those in need, and we be in need. One of the pirates, Jake Valor, he can help us get into the cave to the lost treasure Barbatos. And they're off. Bruce continues to write his journal about how long it takes to sail from Jamaica all the way up to Virginia. They find the cave they're looking for, full of Indiana Jones-esque traps, and Jake explains to Bruce that they're searching for a treasure hid here by the Miagami tribe. Due to some traps, Jake and Bruce are separated from everyone else, and it turns out the treasure turns out to be an altar to Bruce's original Batman costume that he left behind in caveman times, that they call Barbatos. So Bruce gets his old outfit back with a new cowl made from the outfits from Pilgrim times and Pirate times, as Jake reveals that he's actually the real Black Pirate. Blackbeard should leave these natives alone. But it turns out Blackbeard was listening the entire time, and he demands the treasure, which leads into an epic fight between everyone, which also alerts the nearby British colonists as Blackbeard tries escaping with some of the gold, which ultimately leads to his real-life fate. The rest of the crew leaves with the Black Pirate, and Bruce gets sent in time again, sending him back to Jonah Hex's time. He questions him what time period it is. Jonah being Jonah doesn't question the giant bat-themed pirate man, but Hex could use Bruce's help. The outlaw Vandal Savage has hired the Royal Flesh Gang to terrorize the town. The Royal Flesh Gang's a family of criminals. Bruce has ran into their descendants more than a handful of times. So after one shave and Bruce getting a new cowboy outfit, they come up with a plan. For Hex to get intentionally captured.
On account of being a no-good bounty hunter who tried to bring down the Royal Flush Gang, Jonah Hex is sentenced to death.
Madre mía! Es el Bat Hombre!
You gotta come in creaming, Mabaga.
So they attack, but Bruce immediately takes out Ten and Keen with a road sign. The group tries escaping, but Bruce takes out Jack and takes his horse. Hex is able to get back onto the horse he's tied to. This leads into a brief chase, but eventually they do get Queen and Ace. Hex gets the bounty and he decides to use that as drinks on the house. But Bruce denies his drink, which Jonah laughs about, slapping on the back, which sends him traveling through time with Bruce. Jonah is not exactly happy to be taken out of his own timeline, but Bruce promises because he's dealing with time shenanigans, he might be able to send him back to his own proper time. It also turns out they appeared in a 1970s costume party, and Bruce gets approached by Thomas and Martha Wayne. We can have Thomas Wayne being played by Val Kilmer. He's dressed in something similar to his Batman costume, with a mix of first appearance Batman. And I kind of know that everything's wrong with Val Kilmer, but you don't need to go with the AI route. His son sounds a lot like him. Beer away, the scene kind of goes like,
And here I thought I was going to be one of a kind. I guess great minds think alike, Mr.
Matthew Malone.
Thomas Wayne. This is my wife, Martha.
Oh, my, you're friendly, aren't you?
Jonah introduces himself as Bruce Harry Wales. Sorry about my shaving accident. But Martha loves his Jonah Hex costume. She loves those old stories, and that museum in Gotham's just the coolest. A what? Yeah, he only likes the stories. He hasn't been to a museum. We gotta go. See? Arthur tells Thomas, we should name our kid Bruce. I love that name. It's so strong and noble, and I know you're Scottish. And Thomas is like, I don't know. It sounds a little like he's gonna be a fruit bat. Bruce is like awkwardly leaving, like kind of crying. He got to saw his parents. Just as they walk out the door, they go through time again. Bruce is like full of anxiety that he saw his parents, so much so he doesn't realize he got hit by a car. He comes to a while later in the hospital. Jonah is there sleeping on a chair, but he notices Bruce is awake. Jonah is completely confused about these horseless carriages, and this hospital is massive. But it ain't that bad. I love the indoor latrines. You even have paper to wipe with, and a little spot right next to it where you can wash in. Do you know how to, flush? What? Were you going in the bowl thing? No, I only wash my face in that. Where were you? But this is interrupted when someone opens the door. Jonah hides under the bed. It's a nun, Sister Leslie Tompkin. She is looking for some help. Mr. Matches Malone might be able to help her, because she wants to investigate on the recent murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. This causes Bruce to have a flashback.
Can I be Zora when I grow up?
Absolutely, son.
Dear, when he has nightmares tonight, you can be the one to calm him down.
When you're older, say 30.
I'll take that necklace you're wearing, lady.
Leave her alone.
I swear by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals.
So Matches Malone is on the case. Also, do you take coins from the 18th century? The two cowboy up and go to Crime Alley, where they find rookie cop Jim Gordon. So there's some investigation looking around until Bruce finds the weapon itself. But he decides to keep it, and with Hex, they're able to find who has the fingerprints that match. Joe Chill. They run it by the cops who know where he lives as a potential suspect, and Jonas says it's up to Bruce. This is all his gig now. Joe Chill's just kind of minding his own business in his rundown apartment till he hears someone yell his name, and he yells back that he'll pay rent next week. He promises he has the money, for real.
Joe Chill,
Bruce knocks Joe around.
who murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne. You took them in cold blood, Chill.
How could you
I know because I am the son of the man you murdered. I am Bruce Wayne.
Joe Chill tries apologizing, saying that it was an accident. He didn't mean to, but Bruce isn't listening as he hits him again. Norman and the Spectre, who've been watching, appear. Norman pleads to the Spectre they have to do something. Bruce can't just murder an impoverished man, but the Spectre reminds them that he's only the witness. They can't interact with them. They can't see us. But we do have the ability of positive suggestion.
Let your devotion to justice temper your rage.
But the Spectre reminds him he's not just the spirit of redemption, avenging wrath of the presence. Much like Bruce, as he leans into Bruce, he is the spirit of vengeance in you.
An agent of vengeance.
He took your parents and ruined your life. Now fulfill your destiny. Otherwise, he knows who you are. If he doesn't die, then Batman will.
Batman may die, but Bruce Wayne... never.
Joe tries apologizing, not even knowing who the Waynes were until the next day's headlines. He just tried taking the woman's pearl necklace because he needed some cash. After the airline closed down, I was basically ruined. My wife and daughter left me. I ended up here. I got the gun to protect myself. The entire town's gone to hell. I was just trying to get some money from the pearls. I didn't even mean to shoot the first time. I slipped, and the second time I just heard cop sirens and I got scared and I shot again and I grabbed the pearls and ran and I only got half of them. Please don't kill me. Bruce starts crying as he gives him his gun back. And he gives him a bunch of money, saying that he should invest in something called Wayne Enterprises, and in 26 years something called Terrific. Meets back up with Jonah. He's kind of upset to find out his entire life mission revolved around just a mistake. But Jonah says something along the lines of, it just happens sometimes. You became a hero either way. Doesn't matter if it didn't start out because of some grand conspiracy or just someone tripped. You still bring justice and people are alive because of you, and that's all that actually matters. They tell Leslie that they have no idea who done it. There wasn't enough evidence. She claims that she was convinced that Thomas Wayne had it all fake so they can run away together. Just as Bruce and Jonah go through time and Leslie gets horrified seeing it, Bruce hopes that maybe this jump that he probably could save Jason, until a newspaper hits him in the face comedically. He looks at it, something about Firestar, whoever that is, Big Bane in Dakota City, whatever that is, yada yada. Millionaire Joe Chill invest in the Justice League, whoever they are. But hey, the date, it's 2024. I'm home! He promises that they'll get Jonah back to his home eventually. But they make it back to Wayne Manor, and he sees Alfred. And he gives him like a big, uncharacteristically happy hug, saying that he's back. But Alfred's kind of confused because everyone thought he died. With you back, they could use some help settling that succession dispute, leading into the next film. In the post-credits, Jonah finally gets to see that whole big Jonah Hex exhibit, where he gets to see a very scarily realistic statue of himself, wearing a very ugly fake cowboy outfit. And he looks around the whole building and all the people there, and he thinks out loud,
"What the fuck is this piece of shit?"
Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.